Most worship rehearsals start with plugging in and tuning and sound checking, which is great. You got to get ready, you got to get through the material. But I have found a simple way that not only prepares your team to be ready for Sunday, but also prepares them to worship. I've tried a lot of different ways to start rehearsals, sometimes with long devotionals, sometimes just cutting right to the chase and getting to the material. But discovering this simple method of starting rehearsal has really allowed me to honor people's time and honor their hearts. There are 5 parts to starting rehearsal in this way. Sounds like a lot, but they're really, really simple. The first 2 actually I borrowed from my work with youth in restorative practices, which is a wonderful way to ask people to be vulnerable and to show up in support for each other. So the structure is to get everybody in a circle, either standing in a circle or sitting in a circle, doesn't matter, but a circle is super important because it allows everybody to be present. Nobody's blocking one another. You can see each other, look at each other's eyes, and it creates this nice non-hierarchical structure in which there's no leader up front. So step 1 is to ask everybody to go around in this circle and share in a word or a phrase how they're feeling at that moment. This is a wonderful opportunity for you as a leader to demonstrate vulnerability. So I always recommend that the worship leader goes first. So you share a word or phrase about how you're feeling in that moment. Once everybody's gone around and shared, 3 things have happened. 1, the group has named the emotional state that exists in the room. 2, everybody has been seen and heard, and so they've become present. And then 3, it allows you to understand where all of your individual teammates are coming from in that moment. Step 2 is to once again go around in a circle and to share what each individual needs from the rehearsal that evening. So it could be clarity on a song, it could be direction from you about something specific, just could be energy, encouragement, whatever they need. This time, instead of you going first, I recommend that you have one of your teammates go first. Because if you go first, that kind of like gives the right answer. Here's what we need from rehearsal. I would let somebody else go first, and then you can share in the middle or possibly at the end. Once you've gone around in this circle, you hear where the tension points are, and you also get your team to start thinking proactively about what success looks like. Step 3 is to lead your team in what's called Lectio Divina, which in Latin means divine reading. I've got another video that I'm linking right here that will describe it in more detail, but basically it's a way for you to engage your team in the scripture for that upcoming Sunday, to allow that scripture to sink into their hearts, and then after some reflection, to share what God is speaking to them through that scripture, which is a wonderful way to show your team that God doesn't just use the person up front with the microphone. God uses each one of us to speak to each other. So check out all the details in that other video. Step 4 is leading your team in a simple moment of worship. We know that when you get to Sunday and everything's happening, it's so often really difficult to focus on worshiping because we're leading people in worship, which is our job. But there's so many moving parts. There's the charts and the forms and the cables and the click in your ear if you're using that, and all the other instrumentalists and the vocalists and the flow of the worship service, and there's so much. So this is a chance for you to say to your team, just put your instruments down. You pick up your guitar, your keys, or just do this a cappella and pick a simple chorus from that upcoming Sunday and lead your team in that chorus. Repeat it. Repeat it again and again. Maybe throw some prayerful moments in between the chorus. And this reminds us all that we are first and foremost worshipers. Step 5 is simply to get into the rehearsal. At this point, your team is present, they're vulnerable, they've caught the purpose and the vision for the upcoming Sunday, and they've worshiped together. And so energy is high, focus is really sharp, and so I recommend starting with the trickiest song. Maybe it's a new song that you're introducing that week, or just a song that's just really tricky musically. So start with that, and then as you navigate through the rest of rehearsal, you're going to know where your team is and how they're going to need your support and your encouragement and your leadership. If you try this rehearsal rhythm this week or next week, I would love to know how it went. So please share your comments below. Tell me how it went. Maybe something was amazing for you. Maybe something was a struggle that you need more clarity on, or maybe you discovered something that I didn't think of that I can borrow for my next rehearsal. So whatever the case, drop your comments below. And if you want more simple worship ideas like this one, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Hey, thanks for sharing time with me.